Okay, so let's dive in. You're working on building a portfolio, right? One that really stands out.
Yeah.
Not just like a list of skills, but something that tells your story.
Mm.
We're looking at this awesome guide
Right.
all about building a portfolio and pulling out the best tips so you can make yours amazing.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about how to use those metrics to show what you can really do.
Yeah.
Why those testimonials are so important, and even thinking like a marketer when you put it all together.
People get so hung up on just showcasing their work,
Right.
like a collection of, look what I can do.
Yeah.
But this guide goes deeper.
Okay.
It's about strategic storytelling, presenting yourself and what you can do in a way that speaks to the people you want to reach.
So it's not just showing off. It's like a targeted message almost.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like you wouldn't wear the same thing to a job interview that you would to a concert.
Right.
You need to tailor your portfolio to the occasion and the audience.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So where do we even start with this strategic storytelling?
Well, this guide gets it right from the beginning.
Okay.
You need to define what your portfolio's purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to get a job or freelance gigs, or is it for academics?
Yeah.
Figuring that out is so important because it changes every decision that follows.
So I need to ask myself, what do I want this portfolio to do before I even start choosing what I'm going to put in it?
Exactly.
Okay.
And once you've got that locked in, you can start curating your best work.
Okay.
And that's where the advice everybody gives comes in, quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
And this guide explains why.
Okay.
Imagine someone looking at tons of projects in a portfolio.
Right.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you want yours to be the one that they remember.
So instead of just throwing everything in there, just choose the ones that are really good.
Yes.
The ones that show what I can do.
Exactly.
Like the work I want to do more of.
Yeah, like a highlight reel.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
And remember tailoring.
Oh, right.
Think about who's going to be looking at your portfolio.
Yeah.
And what kind of projects they'll like. What skills are they looking for? Like a design portfolio for a tech startup might look very different from one for like an advertising agency.
Totally. Yeah. Okay. So we've got the purpose. We've chosen the best pieces.
Right.
How do we organize it all? Because I feel like that can make or break a portfolio.
Absolutely. This guy talks about structure.
Okay.
Like you want a clear intro, maybe a little about me, and then categorize your projects so people can find what they're looking for.
It's almost like setting up a shop.
Yes.
You want your customers to be able to find everything. Like if they can't find what they need, they'll just go somewhere else.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Because when you present a well-organized portfolio, you're not just showing off your work, you're showing that you're organized.
Right.
You're thoughtful.
Yeah.
And that makes you look really good professionally.
Okay, so we've nailed down the purpose. We've picked out the best work, we've organized it all.
Yeah.
Now we need to figure out how we're going to actually present it.
Right.
This guide mentions a bunch of formats, like digital portfolios, PDFs, even like the old school physical ones.
It's true.
It's a lot.
Yeah. But the format you choose will depend on what you do and how you want your portfolio to be used.
Mm-hmm.
Digital is like the standard these days.
Yeah.
You can make a really nice online portfolio on sites like Behance or your own website.
Yeah. Having your own website gives you so much control.
Right.
But those platforms make sharing your work really easy.
Yeah.
So maybe it's good to have both.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
And don't forget about PDFs.
Oh, yeah. PDFs.
They're great for sharing your work quickly.
Right.
And it makes sure the formatting is the same on everyone's device.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, in some fields you might need a physical one.
Right, like for presentation or something.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're not just throwing something together.
No.
We're thinking about what format is best for us.
Yeah.
Show off our work and help us get to that goal we set at the beginning.
Exactly. Now, this is where the guide gets really good.
Okay.
It talks about proving your worth.
Okay.
And this is more than just showing what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
It's about showing what your work has actually accomplished.
Ooh, tell me more.
Instead of just saying, I designed a website,
Right.
you should say, I designed a website and it increased traffic by 30%.
Ooh.
You see the difference.
Wow, yeah. Like suddenly it's not just design, it's like I made a difference.
Exactly.
I'm results oriented.
Metrics are important because they prove what you're saying.
Okay.
You're backing it up with numbers.
Right.
Another good thing the guy talks about is case studies.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those. But what does that actually mean for a portfolio?
Well, a case study lets you go into more detail about a project.
Okay.
talk about the challenges you faced,
Hmm.
what you did, and what happened because of it.
So it's like, here's the problem, here's what I did, and here's the great result. It's
Exactly.
all about showing, not just telling.
You got it.
Okay.
Speaking of showing, have you thought about social proof?
Oh, yeah, social proof. That's when other people vouch for you,
Yes.
like with testimonials or reviews.
Right. This guide talked about how important that is.
Okay.
Think about it when a possible client or employer sees that other people had good experiences with you.
Yeah.
It makes your claims a lot stronger.
It's like a bunch of happy customers singing your praises.
And don't be shy about asking for those testimonials.
Okay.
People are usually happy to do it, especially if you did a good job.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Okay, so we've got all this amazing work in our portfolio. We've got it organized. We've even got people saying great things about us.
Right, but
Yeah.
all that's not going to do much good if people don't know how to get in touch with you.
Oh, right. That's so obvious, but I bet people forget about it all the time.
Yeah.
This guide mentions that too. Don't forget to tell people how to contact you.
Think of it like the last part of your portfolio's sales pitch.
Okay.
You've shown them what you can do, what you've accomplished,
Yeah.
how credible you are now. Make it super easy for them to reach out.
So clear contact info, easy to find.
Exactly.
And while we're talking about making a good impression, having a professional email address is important, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm guessing PartyAnimal2000 isn't going to cut it.
Probably not even something as simple as your email address can tell people if you're professional or not.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about how to actually build the portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I noticed is this guide keeps saying your portfolio isn't something you just make once and then you're done.
Right.
Like, you have to keep working on it.
Yeah, this guide calls it a living document, which I love.
I like
It
that.
has to change as you get more experience and learn new things.
It's like a garden. You have to keep taking care of it.
Yes.
Getting rid of the old stuff,
Yeah.
adding new stuff.
That's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
And just like a garden, your portfolio needs the right conditions to really grow.
Mhm.
Staying up to date with what's happening in your field, getting feedback from people, being open to making changes.
Okay.
That's how you keep it fresh and relevant.
So it's not just about what you've done in the past. It's showing that you're still learning and growing.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Clients or employers want to see that you're not just stuck,
Right.
that you're trying to get better and stay ahead of the game.
So it's almost like saying, hey, I'm not just sitting here doing nothing. I'm always learning new things,
Yes.
which is what we should all be doing, right? Because things are always changing.
Absolutely. And that makes me think of something that's really important.
Okay.
It's something this guide mentions but doesn't really go into.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's the idea of letting your personality show through in your portfolio.
Oh, okay. So it's not just about doing things the right way. It's about showing what makes me unique.
Exactly. Whether it's the projects you choose, the way you design things, even how you write,
Mm-hmm.
this is how you can really stand out.
So it's about authenticity, being myself.
Absolutely. It has to be a natural part of who you are as a professional and as a person.
People can spot a fake a mile away.
Yes, they can.
Okay, so let's say I have this awesome portfolio. It's up to date. My personality is all woven in.
Right.
How do I get it out there in the world?
That's the big question.
Yeah.
And like a lot of this, it depends on what you want to do and what industry you're in.
This guide mentions Behance and Dribble,
Mm-hmm.
which are good for visual work like design or photography.
Yeah.
But what if my work isn't really visual?
That's where a website can be really helpful.
Okay.
It's like your home base,
Yeah.
where you can show all your work and information,
Right.
and you decide exactly how it looks.
And social media can help too, right?
Yes.
Especially LinkedIn for professional stuff.
Definitely. It's great for networking
Okay.
and meeting possible clients or employers.
But we shouldn't forget about the older ways of doing things too, like
Right.
going to networking events and conferences.
Exactly. Sometimes talking to people face-to-face is the best way.
Yeah.
Having a physical portfolio or even just business cards can make a big difference.
So we need to use all these different ways to get our work in front of the right people.
Exactly.
It-
And once you've got your portfolio out there, it's important to see how it's doing.
Oh, good point. How do you do that?
Well, for a website, there are tools that can tell you how many people are visiting,
Mm-hmm.
what they're looking at, how long they're staying.
Okay. And for those other ways of sharing your work, like a physical portfolio or networking,
Right.
I guess just asking for feedback is the best way.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to ask people what they think,
Okay.
what they liked, what could be better. It's all useful information.
This might seem like a lot, especially if you're just starting out.
It can be,
Yeah.
but remember, it's a journey, not a race.
Hmm.
Try new things. Don't worry about making mistakes.
Okay.
It's all part of learning.
And I think it's easy to compare ourselves to other people.
Oh, for sure. But everyone's journey is different.
Right.
Everyone starts somewhere different.
Yep.
Focus on making a portfolio that shows the real you.
Right. Not trying to be someone else.
Exactly.
Okay, it's a good reminder.
And celebrate the small wins along the way.
Oh, yeah.
That can really keep you going.
Actually, speaking of small wins,
Yeah.
I just had a thought. Something that's not really in this guide, but something I've been thinking about.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
I was thinking about how making a portfolio can actually help you figure out who you are, like, professionally.
Oh, wow.
It makes you think about what you're good at, what you're not so good at,
Right.
what you actually like doing.
It's like looking inward at yourself as a professional.
Exactly. So by choosing what you want to show, you're not just showing projects, you're showing who you are, what you want people to know you for.
And when you get feedback from people, you can see your work how they see it.
Right.
It can show you how others see your skills and where you can improve.
So it's not just about marketing yourself, it's about understanding yourself better.
Yeah. And making your goals clearer.
It's like a mirror showing you who you are professionally.
Yeah.
And it changes as you change.
It's like a record of your journey.
It's a really cool idea. And it makes me think maybe we shouldn't be so scared of making a portfolio.
I agree. It's easy to get intimidated.
Yeah.
Especially when you see all those really good portfolios out there.
Right. And that imposter syndrome can really get to you.
It's funny. This guide doesn't really talk about imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of people feel that way.
Especially in creative fields.
Yeah. It's that feeling that your work isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Or that people are going to figure out that you're not that good.
Right. So what can we do about it? How do we make that voice go away and make a portfolio feeling confident?
Well, first, remember, you're not the only one who feels that way.
Okay.
A lot of people feel like that, even those who seem super successful.
That's good to know.
One thing that can help is to think about what you've already done.
Okay.
Remember, projects you've finished successfully.
Yeah.
Good feedback. You got skills you learned.
So basically fight those negative thoughts with proof that you're actually awesome.
Exactly. Celebrate your wins.
Okay.
Give yourself credit for your hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that might help is to change how you think about it.
Okay.
Instead of thinking your portfolio has to be perfect,
Yeah.
think of it as something you're always working on.
That definitely takes some of the pressure off.
It does. It's not about being perfect. It's
Yeah.
about showing where you are now
Right.
and how you can grow.
Okay.
And remember, everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
It's how you learn. Don't be afraid to mess up.
That's so important.
Don't try to be perfect.
Right.
And don't be afraid to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
Mentors, friends, even online groups.
Yeah.
Having people who believe in you can make a big difference.
Okay, so we're fighting imposter syndrome. We're thinking of our portfolios as works in progress. Anything else we should remember?
Remember, this whole thing is about more than just getting a job or a client.
Mm-hmm.
It's about growing, learning about yourself, and sharing what you're good at with
Mm-hmm.
the world.
So have fun with it.
Yes.
Try new things. Let your personality show.
Exactly. And be nice to yourself along the way.
We covered a lot today.
We did.
We talked about why your portfolio needs a purpose, how to choose what goes in it, how to organize it all, how to show what you've accomplished, and even how to deal with feeling like you're not good enough.
And we talked about how this whole process can actually help you figure out who you are professionally.
Right. Which is pretty cool.
It is. But remember, this is just the beginning. We really want you to read that guide we've been talking about.
Yeah, it's got even more great tips.
As you start making your portfolio, we want to hear from you.
Yes. Tell us about it.
What are you excited about?
What are you struggling with?
Share your thoughts, your questions.
Your wins, even your failures.
Because what you've learned can help other people who are doing the same thing.
We're all in this together.
Let's learn from each other, support each other, and make some really amazing portfolios.
Keep learning and keep creating.
Until next time.